Hey guys, today we're taking a look at Microsoft's brand new Gears of War 4 limited edition custom 2 TB Xbox One S console. They sent one out to me, I've unboxed it, I've given my impressions and my thoughts on the Xbox One S. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so when Microsoft unveiled its new Xbox One S console back at E3 2016, which was, around the middle of the year, I was really impressed by how small it was and the fact that it had an internal power supply. For me, that was a big deal, and one of my biggest issues with the Xbox One and Xbox consoles in general was the power supply, which made it kind of difficult to take it from one room and move to another room quite easily, or to do it like every few days or whatnot. And we hadn't seen an Xbox without the massive power brick since the original Xbox, which was launched 15 years ago. So when you combine that with the 40% reduced size it has, support for high dynamic range, 4K media streaming, and the fact that it's the only console to support 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray discs, the Xbox One really felt like a different system to the original console that launched in November 2013. So what are we looking at here? It's the first ever custom Xbox One S console, the Gears of War 4 2 TB limited edition bundle. Naturally enough, it includes a copy of Gears 4, but this is the Ultimate Edition. It includes all the extra goodies, the Season Pass, pre-order bonuses, some exclusive content. There's a lot of stuff in there. And of course, the console isn't just, a random color, or it isn't just white or black or anything like that. This is a custom design to make it look as if it was lifted right out of Gears of War 4. It's just fantastic to look at. The console itself bears the battle marks of surviving a desperate fight against the swarm enemies from Gears 4, so you have these like massive scratches on it and they just look crazy. There's also the Crimson Omen designed controller, which is laser engraved scratches, which has the laser engraved scratches that's seen on the console itself. Is a very nice controller and it's definitely one of my favorites. And what we have here is a bundle that's just the perfect package for Gears fans. And this even applies to the packaging itself. Like the packaging on the Xbox One S was all very neat. It felt premium when opening it up. And the new Gears 4 limited edition system is the exact same, but the look of the box and what you see inside, it's been redesigned to make it look as if it came from Gears of War 4. The artwork on the front and on the back matches the cover art for the game with the characters JD Phoenix, who's the prodigal son of Marcus Phoenix, and his friends Koch and Dell. The front also features the red themed Crimson Omen console and controller on it, showing what fans can look forward to if they decide to pick up this system when they're in a store. So once you open up the box and look inside, you'll notice the outside of the instructional famlet has been redesigned, and that's like a little sheeting that tells you the basics of setting up your console. It has a reddish gory look to it with the Crimson Omen symbol, and as you begin to look closer, you'll notice the entire inside of the box has been designed with Gears fans in mind. It's bloody red, there's like all different shades, scars, blood marks, and scratches, as seen on the console and the controller as well. One side of the box also has the Crimson Omen logo, while the other side has the COG logo. And the COG is basically being led by a woman called First Minister Jin, who like creates this new army robot security force in Gears 4 called DBs, and you're going to be taking them on at the beginning. Well, not exactly the beginning, but shortly after the prologue in the game. So, anyways, looking inside the box, there's three different compartments inside it. You've got the console itself, a box which includes the controller and the cabling, and there's also the vertical SAM manuals and download codes in a separate thin cardboard box. It's all presented quite neatly, and each of the smaller boxes and components are all Gears 4 themed, meaning they're red and gory with blood patches and stains all over them. You're not going to be throwing any of this away, especially if you're a Gears fan. So taking a look at the Crimson Omen controller that's included, it's just one of the best Xbox controllers I've ever owned. Like, it's amazing. It's got a gory, blood-stained look to it, and it just looks as if it was took out of battle. There's like a bloody thumbprint over the D-pad, scratches laser engraved, a bunch of the buttons, and they look like they were almost carved into the controller. The little logos on each of the buttons. It's really nicely done. There's all kinds of markings and etchings all over it. You got the Crimson Omen symbol, COG logo on the back. The back also has a different shade of red, darker, almost wine-like color. It's one of the best controllers out there, and it has everything that I love about the white Xbox One S controller as well. So you got your textured grip for enhanced comfort, 2 times the wireless range, which Microsoft says is the most reliable wireless signal found on an Xbox product to date. Bluetooth technologies. You can use it on your Windows 10 PC, and there's also a headphone jack, so you can use whatever stereo headphones or microphones you have with it. Something that a recent smartphone doesn't actually have. So yeah, taking a look at the console itself, this thing just looks as if it was lifted right out of Gears 4. It's so cool, I can't praise it enough. The best custom Xbox One S console we've seen, and that's like quite a statement to make because I loved the Halo 5 Guardians console from last year as well. I thought that was fantastic. And it just made, some people weren't a big fan of the Xbox One's original kind of look, but that console just looked stunning. And, it's quite big, obviously a lot bigger than the S, but it looks as if it came from Halo, and this thing is doing the exact same thing. It looks as if it came from Gears, but it has all the benefits of the Xbox One S. The console's very red. It's really, really, really red. It's got a gory feel to it. There's laser etched scratches, and you can actually touch and feel these, and they're like burned right into the console. It's quite insane, and the process they went to do this as well, like where they were literally like setting like the outside of the system almost on fire to get these scratches into it. It's quite crazy. Yeah, so actually, all the flourishes that are on the console, they're also on the controller as well. You also got a Crimson Omen above the console's cooling vent, which is something that people would probably like and appreciate because some fans had issues with the cooling vent. They found it kind of stuck out a bit too much. So on the Gears console, that's definitely a lot more hidden. Something I haven't mentioned yet is the amazing custom startup, shutdown, and disk eject tones that's also on the console. When you use the power button, which is physical, not capacitive like on the original Xbox Ones, you hear a bit of Gears 4's brilliant orchestral soundtrack. The disc eject has loud screechy noises as heard from the Juvies, which shows where those scratches etched onto the console and controller have come from. Uh, have a listen to them. That's so awesome. Now here's the disc eject, taken from the Juvies in the game, their loud screeching noise. And then finally, we have the power off, which is also taken from Gears 4's soundtrack. In addition, Gears 4 supports high dynamic range, and that's a feature you're getting on your new Xbox One S. It's only on the S, and of course, it's also on the custom Gears 4 console. So, HDR stands for high dynamic range. It basically means higher contrast ratio between lights and darks. It makes everything feel a bit more realistic, brightens up colors, makes them more luminous. And we just gotta check that your TV supports HDR10 before buying, because if your TV doesn't have that, you won't be able to use the Gears 4 HDR with it. So just be careful of that. You got your 4K media streaming also there. It means you can stream movies and TV shows from Netflix and Amazon if they're in 4K. You can also, all your games are also upscaled to 4K. You can also take advantage of the 4K Blu-ray player, which is awesome. Also inside the package is a code for the Gears of War 4 Ultimate Edition, and this can be downloaded and used on both your Gears 4 console, your Xbox One S, and your Windows 10 PC. It's a $99 value, and you get the Season Pass with it, Vintage Dell VIP pack, permanent access to all future multiplayer maps for private games, a huge amount of Gears packs, vintage JD Gear pack, developer playlists of upcoming modes. There's all kinds of crazy awesome stuff. There's also bonus in-game content that you won't find anywhere else, like the Vintage Oscar Elite Pack, and that features a Vintage Oscar character, Vintage Retro Lancer and Boomshot skins, and there's even more stuff on top of that. In addition, you also get a number of pre-order bonuses with it as well, like the Vintage Oscar Elite Pack, the Vintage Oscar character, Vintage Retro Lancer and Boomshot skins. You even get pre-order bonuses like the Vintage Dell Gear Pack, the Brothers to the End Gear Pack. There's just so many gear packs. Seriously, you're gonna be opening packs all day, and it's just awesome. The more, the better. You also get the digital tokens for the original Gears of War game, Gears of War 1, Gears of War 2, Gears of War 3, and Gears of War Judgment. That's the entire Xbox 360 collection, and all of them are playable on your new, appropriately themed Xbox One S console thanks to backwards compatibility. So the Gears of War 4 bundle is available today for $449 in the United States. It's the most expensive Xbox One S console available now. Just add that's €450 in European markets. The regular two terabyte bundle that released in August is a little bit cheaper at $399, but that all that Gears content just is more than worth the extra uh, $50 for it. Like when you consider that you're getting tons of bonus content, the pre-order bonuses, the entire Gears collection, all of it playable on your system, it's literally like a steal for any Gears fan who's yet to make the jump onto Xbox One. The console's available in a huge amount of countries like the US, Canada, UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand. I list all the countries that's available in inside the article, which you can find in the description below. There's a link to that article, and it details everything you need to know about this console, the countries it's available in, the pricing, even more info about all the content included, even more impressions, and pictures as well if you want to see some photographs of the console and if you want to hear those start up and shut down chimes again. Alright, that's the new Gears of War 4 console. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.